Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Oh, my glasses are filthy. Oof. You have to tell me I've got my glasses off. Can't see what's going on. Anybody joined us?
I don't know. I haven't even had to notice.
Oh, okay. Oh, we've got two people. Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm just cleaning my glasses so I can't see you. Can't see anything. I can see a tiny little dot. Oh, God. So I'm going to have to do the old lick trick. You see, lick and use your t-shirt. It's the best way to clean your glasses. It really is. No, it is, honestly. Say hi if you're here lurking.
Well, I didn't get a
That's better.
notification.
There we are. Paul, you didn't get a notification. Oh
No.
dear. Well, YouTube doesn't like you, Paul, clearly. Well, whether you got a notification or not, welcome to the 6 o'clock on Friday show. I'm cleaning my glasses. Oh, that's better. I can actually see something now. Well, there's three of you at least. Hmm. I hope you're okay wherever you are, whoever you are. Welcome. Oh, just adjusting there. Just two people now. Oh, well. Maybe nobody's going to join this week, Paul. Hmm,
Well, if they haven't had a
lovely.
notification,
Yes, apparently, oh, four people now. Four people. Lovely. Welcome. It's Friday night. It's 6 o'clock. That
just
means
come up.
I'm live.
Just come up.
Oh, you've had the notification,
Just
Paul.
2
I'm
minutes ago.
delighted. Excellent. So that means five people have joined us, five people and counting. Welcome. It's 6 o'clock on Friday. We've just had our dinner. We had a bolognese, a vegetarian bolognese made with some kind of protein, wasn't it, Paul?
We've had
What was it called? It was a new thing.
meatless
Meatless,
mince.
meatless, what?
Mince.
Was that it? There's no brand name.
Meatless.
Oh, the brand is Meatless, apparently. That was rather nice. Yes, it was. Thank you very much. We ate it and it was enjoyable. So there you go. So, how are you this evening? I hope you're well. Say hello. For some reason, I'm not getting any. Hold on. Oh, so hi, hi, hi. Sorry, I've just got the messages, you see. So we've got Eleanor, we've got Patricia, we've got Marie, we've got Mandy,
Evelyn.
Evelyn,
Vinny.
or Eveline, Vinny. Welcome, 3000%. Welcome, everybody. Raised Dorset allotment, hello. So, Inga, welcome. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all not too cold and wet because we've just had a storm, a rainstorm, wasn't it, Paul?
I didn't really.
Oh, Paul didn't really hear it. Oh, well. Paul's round there. That's where he is, hiding from the camera as usual, as is his wont, as we say. I'm feeling particularly royal this evening. Yes, because of our trip to Hampton Court Palace yesterday, which made me feel terribly regal and more queen like than usual. Mm, yes, if that's possible. I think it is possible. And yes, so hello, whoever else is here.
Jill.
Jill,
Brian.
welcome from a wet and windy Wales. Yes, so it's been wet and windy in London as well. We just had a massive rainstorm. Paul just said, I didn't hear it. It was clattering down like the heavens were about to destroy the whole of West London. I missed it. I didn't hear it. I ran up. I ran up to the top of the house because this amazing orange peach sunset appeared as if by magic, and I said, "I'm going to do the sunset. The sky is orange." I didn't hear a reply, so Paul was deep in cookery at that point.
I heard you say that. I just didn't respond.
Did you? Hmm. He heard me, but didn't respond. I'm looking rather pale this evening. Hmm. Maybe it's because I haven't got my bisexual lighting on. Anyway, here we are. Pag. Yes, bloomin' awful on the Kent coast. Yeah, it was bloomin' awful here, but yesterday was beautiful for our sachet around Hampton Court. Did you watch the video? It's only 6 minutes long. It was very beautiful, I felt. Western Michigan, Mandy. Hi, Brian. Sorry, I did mean to say hi, Brian. I do apologize. I did see you whiz past there. My garden and the dinosaurs who live there. Mags. Sorry, I forget your names, guys, sometimes. I do apologize. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Cut me and I bleed. I'm human. I'm not an avatar. What? Well, I am. I'm human like everybody else. Just because I'm on YouTube doesn't mean I'm a virtual reality or something, although I might be some days, I tell you. I feel like a virtual reality. I feel like an artificial intelligence some days. Artificial? Me? Never. Never. Hello, Sarah Cornelius. Welcome. Well, Brian, it's not been too cold here, but when I went up to the roof to shoot the sunset just now, which there is a video, surprise, surprise, um, it was bitterly cold. The wind had changed and it was chilly, really chilly. So there we go. Hello there, Tony, UK, here we grow. Hello, Nettie. Hello, Justin, welcome. Thanks everybody for joining me. 26 people here now, that's lovely. Any idea what to do on white mold? Why has that been hidden? Good evening, Vivi, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Christine, thank you. Yeah, it has been wet and windy, hasn't it? It's been quite wild this afternoon, quite wild. And I had a bit of a rest this afternoon because I spent this.
You were snoring.
Yeah, all right, Paul. You don't need to bloody rub it in.
While I was working.
You were working, were you? Yes. Is that what you were doing this morning whilst I was editing?
Are you?
Yeah, working away. That's what he calls it. Um, so this morning I was editing, doing the Hampton Court video for you, which took me forever, even though it's only 6 minutes long. It took me forever because I really needed to edit. I really needed to edit properly and choose music and blah, 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 blah. Hello, Sue from Italy. Welcome. So it took me all morning to do that. And Paul was working. And then I fancied a rest because it is one's day off. And I thought, I never have a rest. I was up. Paul, are you going to laugh and mock everything I say this evening? Is that your plan? Because if it is, you know how things will turn out later. No, you didn't, Sarah Cornelius. Cheeky. I never have a rest in the afternoon these days. It's kind of like the dream. When I go part-time, I'll have afternoon sleeps and everything will be wonderful. And I haven't done it once, actually, Paul. Mm, not once. And I did today, and it was lovely. I had a couple of hours, didn't I, Paul?
Yeah, a good couple of
Good
hours.
couple of hours on the sofa, going in and out of consciousness, which I quite like. Mm, there we are. Well, I'm part time, you see, Tony, so I'm completely and utterly poor, but much happier, much happier being part time. I've got a bit of a glow on this evening. Whew.
It's supposed to be that week this week.
Oh, it's either that or it's the male menopause. Either way. Whew. Why am I getting prettier day? So, so. No, don't flatter me. I don't feel particularly pretty. I've really rushed to get ready this evening, and I think it must be your eyes, your perception of me. I feel like, so I'm looking a bit pale this evening somehow, a little bit bluish. I think it's because I've got no pink lighting. I need pink lighting to enhance myself. So, how's your week been? I'm hearing about your work. Don't murder anybody tonight, pet. No, all right, Christine, love. I'll try not to, love. No. Paul! Paul's got a cock crowing at him now. Paul, I don't want any cock in this room tonight. Thank you very much.
I need to turn the oven on.
Honestly, not the kind of thing I want on a Friday evening. What are you cooking, Paul?
Bread.
Paul's cooking bread. It's Friday evening. Oh, Brian, you're too kind. You really are. No, stop complimenting me, everybody. Tell me I look terrible. Please do. Um, well, absolutely. I won't have any of that nonsense, Tony. Absolutely not. Good evening, Sandra. And chickens. Yes, I do apologize. There was a cock crowing in here earlier. It wasn't a real cock. No, we haven't had any real cock in this room for many a year. No,
No.
absolutely not. Jane Wilson, welcome. Thank you very much. Sharon, hi. My liege. Yes, I'm feeling rather regal tonight. I really am. That little walk round Hampton Court, you were little, it was 4 hours. Walk round Hampton Court made me feel rather queen like and reminded me of my natural royal heritage. Yes. Oh dear, Evelyn. Oh dear, good luck with that. Oh no, awful, awful, awful to be in pain. Awful. Yes, thank you, Christine, giving me the crown there. You know I deserve it. Hi, Kathy. So yeah, it's been quite a pleasant week this week actually. Work wasn't too bad at the beginning of the week. It was busy as usual. But then Wednesday afternoon, what did I do Wednesday afternoon?
You went to sleep.
No, I didn't go to sleep. Stop telling people that I spend all my time sleeping, Paul. I was up at 6. I started work at 6 this morning. Straight on the computer, got up, made tea, started work.
You were doing the
That's
editing.
that's that's work.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you were doing the editing.
Yeah, that's why you've had a beautifully high quality video from me with music. You see, because I put some effort into it.
Or two.
Yes, lovely. Good evening, Linz. Welcome. Hello, Anna. We've got 49 people here. Aren't I blessed? Thank you so much. Hello, Mark. Welcome. Sue, you're having splendid weather after lots of snow. It feels like spring. It doesn't feel like spring here today, does it really? Yesterday was quite nice at Hampton Court. We had a mixture of different weather. It was sunny, it was cloudy, it was a little bit showery. The temperature had risen a little bit, so it wasn't too cold. Although out in the wind, it was quite cold down by the river. But yeah, it was. Well, the music, Marie, the music was from YouTube's library. So as a creator, you get access to this library of music, and I wanted sort of medieval sounding music because, even though Hampton Court isn't classed as a medieval palace, it has been, parts of it have been built in a medieval style. For example, we learn quite a lot about Henry VIII's Great Hall. It's under renovation at the moment. The tapestries are being cleaned and repaired, and there were some bugs there, weren't there, or something
In the floorboard.
in the floorboard, so they had to get rid of those. So we learned quite a lot. And one of the really interesting things that we learned, which I'm going to share with you, whether you like it or not, is in the eaves of the Great Hall, there are these tiny little faces looking down, and they are the eavesdroppers, placed there as a threat to anybody that came to court and risked talking about the king, Henry VIII. They were there to remind people, because Henry VIII was paranoid quite a lot of the time, they were there to remind people that somebody is always listening. Yes. Bit like the trolls on here. Yes. So high vegan dolls. Yeah, so there you go. And that's, I don't think it's the origin of eavesdropping because I did some research, but it's one of the terms that was used by Henry VIII. So it became fashionable, I guess. So there you go. So
And
there we
he
are.
was terribly insecure on the throne.
He was insecure on the throne.
That's why he put the eavesdroppers up there. To make
Well,
sure.
because of people talking at court. That's what I've just said, Paul. I'm not going to repeat it.
I think you
The
should.
audience is listening.
Bibby's listening.
Everybody's listening. And I tell you what, at Hampton Court, what really, really impressed me was the knowledge of the guides. We met several and spoke to a couple of people, and they were really knowledgeable and they really know their stuff. And you can ask the question and they know the answer, which, I was really, really impressed with. Really great staff, really friendly. The food offering at Hampton Court was pretty good as well. We had a vegetarian pie and mash, and the pie was, what was it? Squash with beans and cheese, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
we couldn't taste the cheese.
So there were sort of different types of beans in there, pieces of squash in a sort of sauce, in a lovely watercrust pastry with a side helping of mash and gravy. And it was really delicious. We don't normally spend money on food at these places because very often we're disappointed. But we said, no, let's treat ourselves today rather than making sandwiches and taking a flask. Because we got the tickets half price online, which was great. So, hi, Bill and Val. So we were really, really delighted with that trip yesterday, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was quite small and there was no talking on it, but to be honest, it's really in some of the larger places at Hampton Court, it's quite echoey. And I was really aware that if I started talking to the camera, probably everybody would hear me. So I didn't do any talking to the camera. I just took pictures of Paul walking around. But yes, there you go. So sorry, I'm just seeing messages going to Tony.
Tony lost his grandmother.
Oh, Tony, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that. Oh dear. We've been there. So who's been nude modeling?
Well,
Has there been
Vinny
any?
said he'd been modelling.
Well, Vinny, you've missed the innuendo at the beginning. There was quite a bit, as usual. I mean, I'm only 2 marks away from a carry-on film, really. Um, oh, Brian, you're going. Okay, well, thanks for dropping by, Brian. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very nice of you. Yeah. Okay. So, you've been at work. You've had a busy week. Have you had a good week, though? Is everybody feeling positive? Did anybody see the video that we put up on setting goals? I've set a goal, Paul, haven't I? Oh,
Have you?
yes. My goal for this year is to visit all of the royal historic palaces and claim my rightful title to the role of Queen of England.
What, even the ones in Northern Ireland?
Yeah, I'd like to visit those as well. Yeah.
Is it Hills?
No.
Yeah, Hillsborough.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, I'd like to visit all the royal historic palaces, and also I would like to go and see the crown jewels. Hello, Jane. Did I say hello to you? Sorry. Well, Vinny, this thing about being positive, you see, it's a difficult thing because I used to work as a coach and I never ever coached anybody into being more positive because it's extremely broad. And also, you have to fully embrace the fact that life is all about balance. You're going to get negativity in life. It is quite difficult to maintain positivity if you're not naturally optimistic as well. You have to embrace all the sides to your personality. I'm not a naturally optimistic person at all. Um, I'm glass half empty or whatever they say. And I find that if I try to say I'm going to be more positive, I don't hit the mark and then I feel disappointed. And then I realize that actually that's not me, that's not who I am. So, what I try to do is be more practical with my goals and move forwards regardless. So, I like to be in the moment. I like to try and move forwards with goals. I try not to look backwards. I try not to be too reflective on the past. I try not to project too far into the future. I just try to achieve what I can achieve. And if I don't achieve it, I don't beat myself up. And if I'm feeling negative, I embrace it and try and work out why I'm feeling negative that day. You know, Try and analyze that moment. Why am I negative at this moment? What has happened to lead me to this point? And how can I lift myself out of it? And usually, the way to lift myself out of feeling negative is to do a task, do something practical. So there's kind of this cycle that goes on continuously, and we kind of have to maintain that to move forwards. I have to. I'm talking about myself here. I'm not generalizing. So that, that would be what I would say to that. Well, that's fantastic, Vinny. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I mean, if something helps your confidence, um, that is really, really valuable. Confidence is something that many people feel as though they lack, but very often they're comparing themselves to other people, you know? Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Know what you can do within your limits and step out of your comfort zone occasionally. to give yourself a little push. Um, I've learned that diving out of my comfort zone into something that's completely alien to me just doesn't work for me. It makes me feel terribly anxious, and actually, it isn't worth that anxiety process. So I tend to dip my toe in and feel the water. And if I think, okay, that feels okay, I'll try it a little bit more and a little bit more. So I stretch myself bit by bit. I'm not the kind of person that just dives in without any kind of thought. That's not me. I analyze. I can't help it. It's my nature. Um, I analyze situations. I weigh things up. I do SWOT analysis quite a bit, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Um, I, that's just the person that I am. There we go. Hi, Jane. I didn't know you'd snuck in here. I wanted to say thanks to Jane. No, I do, Jane, honestly. I really want to say thanks for sending Paul the lovely ton of seeds that you did. I was going to use them as maracas. Hmm. But Paul won't let me. He said he's got to do something called growing them. So thanks, Jane. And I also want, is Michelle here? Is Michelle in the house?
No.
No. Um, Michelle, if you watch later, I just wanted to say thanks to Michelle. Yay, Michelle sent us a Valentine's card. It's been years since we've had a Valentine's card. Of course, traditionally, Valentine's cards don't reveal who the sender is. But I'm glad that Michelle did, because otherwise Paul would think that I'd been playing around with Mario. You see. There we are. So, yes, I know. Buffering is awful. Oh dear. Oh, Vivi.
Might be weather.
It could be the weather. Yeah, could be. You can catch us later, love. Yeah, catch us later on the replay. So we've got 50 people watching at the moment. Thank you so much, everybody. I do hope I wasn't waffling on a little bit too much there about goals and setting them and, moving forwards in life. But we all have to do it. And if you do feel as though you're stuck and you're standing still, always remember you're never standing still, ever. You're whizzing round at thousands of miles an hour on the earth, thousands of miles an hour. So you're never still, ever. I always remind myself of that. I find it helpful. I do. No, I really do. Is Vera on tonight, love? Oh, I'm not sure
No,
she's on tonight, love. It's Sunday.
finished.
Oh, no. You know what? They've done it again, ITV. They've given us how many episodes? Four
4.
episodes. And then said that's the end of the series. What? I said to Paul, I wouldn't mind if it was four episodes with a story arc, covering all the episodes like a sort of one big movie, all connected. But no, it was four separate stories. End of the series. Are you kidding me? I could swear. I really could. I'm not going to, but I could. How do I keep my skin looking so young? Well, it's monkey gland mousse. No, it isn't really. It's, well, it's bee poo, basically, isn't it? Bee vomit. Bee vomit. I get bees to vomit all over my face, and then, yeah. No, I use bee venom cream. Oh, pardon me. That bolognese has made me burp. Bee venom cream I use. I think it's probably some good genetics as well, maybe. My dad's side of the family um, sort of look quite young, quite old, you know? Look young, old. No, I don't know what I'm saying. They look quite young as they get older. That's what I'm saying. So I think it's probably that. But you're very kind for saying so. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, I will let you into a secret, though. I will let you into a secret. I do have a chemical peel. Yeah. And I do the chemical peel at home with a cream that you can't get in this country because it's classed as a drug. I get it through somebody I know. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. The cream is retin A, and I do it once a month. And basically, the whole of your face peels off, and you're left with fresh baby skin. Yeah, that's what I do. But I've always had relatively good skin. I did have acne when I was a teenager. I had a terrible skin when I was a teenager. But retin A is used for acne scarring. It kind of removes acne scarring. So, but you do look like a burns victim for a couple of days.
Oh dear.
So there we go. There we go. You've had it. You've had it. Eagle Lodge, Ireland. Did I say hello to you? Welcome.
Is that tunes?
I'm not symmetrical. I'm far from it, Sue. I'm not symmetrical at all. I'm completely wonky. So, no, I don't, I'm not symmetrical at all. Wish I was. If I had been symmetrical, I'd have been a model. Um, well, if you're not in the UK, I believe Retin A is available to buy from pharmacies, but it's a very strong vitamin A based acid cream, which is it's safe for use if you've not got a sensitive skin, and you use it extremely sparingly, and it just removes the top layer of skin. What it does, it doesn't burn the skin. It actually has been proven it's the only cream that does this. It speeds up cell renewal, so you actually shed your skin very quickly. So that's how it works. It's not some kind of beauty rubbish. It's a proven cream. You can look it up, Retin A. It's tretinoic acid. Yeah, there you go. So there you are. Um, I'm just catching up with the. Well, no, it's actually fine to use. I know a couple of people use it, but you have to get it through somebody that can, well,
Prescribe it.
prescribe it basically. Yeah, you have to know people who have got certificates and qualifications in these things. Um, oh, I've done that, Jane. I look awful. I look terrible. I look really weird. Yeah, I'm so not symmetrical. I don't know how anybody could think I'm symmetrical. I've got one eyebrow. I've got Kylie brow. I've got Kylie brow look. It goes up. This brow goes right up. So there you go. Thank you, Mark. I'm glad you're learning things from Paul. That's brilliant. Okay. Sorry, I'm just catching up with some of your comments. You're very kind, everybody. You need to iron your forehead. Well, I've actually got, Mark, I've got loads of creases on the forehead, but as I've said before, I have a light here. Yeah. I carry it around with me all the time. No, I don't really. And it's got a diffuser on it. So it diffuses the light. So it makes my skin, as well as this terrible camera lens, it just makes my skin look really smooth. So if you all met me in real life, you'd recoil in horror because I probably look 20 years older than you think I look. You know, I mean, I'm not going to present myself to you in an unflattering light. I'm not going to do it. I'm too vain. I'm not really that vain, but I am. Not vain, am vain. Um, I'm not as vain as I used to be, put it that way. I'm really not. I can go out of the house looking like a rag and bone man and not worry too much about it. Whereas when I was in my teens, there wouldn't have been a hair out of place. Literally, it would have been glued solid with hairspray. It was the 80s. We had mullets and spikes to deal with. Jane Kelly knows all about that, don't you, Jane? Yeah, she does. No, no, you must be joking me. I'm not going to take my clothes off, Vinny. I'm not going to do that. I barely take my clothes off for Paul.
Well, if the lights are off.
The lights are off, but nobody'd be able to draw me if the lights are off, Paul.
They could just take it in their mind.
Yes. No, I'm never going to model. Never, never, never. Right. Hair did take hours. I had a mullet. So for those of you who are too young to know what a mullet is, it's long and straight at the back. So you would straighten it with a hairdryer and a round brush, and you'd straighten it down. And then the top and the back here would be spiked on end, probably about this high. And you'd have to use various products. In fact, there weren't that many products available in those days. You could get this awful. Do you remember Country Born hair gel? Anybody? Country Born. It was green hair gel, and it was rubbish. But you could do that, and sometimes you'd use sugar and water. That would make it stand on end. So there you go. Oh, thank you, Laura. You're very kind. Thank you very much. Laura from Arkansas. Thank you. Pardon me. Well, no, Studio Line was slightly later. Studio Line was quite good. L'Oreal Studio Line, wasn't it? But Country Born was the one that we had to buy, and setting lotion as well. You had to get anything you could get your hands on that you could spend your pocket money on. And then I remember when Studio Line came out, and wow, that was a revelation because they did a whole range that would just stick your hair on end and stay in place, you know? And I could go out in a rainstorm in the 80s and nothing would happen to my hair. People would joke about my hair. They'd say, your hair, it's the end of the evening, your hair still looks the same because it was literally glued down. Hello, Anne, welcome. Madonna or Kylie, who's better? Oh, well, Madonna probably, I think. We had Dippity Doo Gel. Oh, I like the sound of that. Dippity Doo Gel. You were only a little baby in the 80s. Oh, well, in 1984, I was 16, I think. Yeah, 16. Yeah, 16. There you go. And Sarah, you were a little baby in 1980. Oh, well, I was born in the 60s, people. The swinging 60s. I was born in the summer of love, the year of the good acid. Not that my parents would have known anything about that. Your hair was crimped. I used to crimp mine, Nettie. I used to love crimping mine. Oh, yeah. Sugar and water, absolutely. Love all of that. Lady Macbeth, you used to have pink long hair and a safety pin through your ear. Oh, lovely. I love all of that. I wasn't, I tried to be a bit sort of gothic at one point, um, wearing sort of, you know, tie-dyed jeans, and I used to bleach my hair with Domestos, and it was bright orange, you know. But then I kind of refined my look and became more of a new romantic, Duran Duran and bands like that. Black nail polish on your eyelashes. Brilliant. Oh, I love all of that. Brill cream. Yeah. Brill cream was great if you wanted that slick back look, which was a little bit later in the 80s. Oh, is Jane going? Jane, goodbye. Goodbye. See you soon. You had curtains. Well, curtains were a bit later, weren't they? I had curtains at one point. That was in the late 80s, early 90s, I think. Oh, I was too young to be a hippie, Patricia, at that stage. I'm more of a hippie now. When people look at me, they think I'm a bit of a hippie now because I've got long hair. Yes. But I did, I changed my style. I moved with the styles. I was a bit of a raver in the 90s, and it's only now that style has left the building, basically. Yeah, safety pins had gone by that time, hadn't they? I pierced my own ears. Yeah, I pierced my own ears. I've got two in here and one there. I couldn't go any further. It hurt too much. Yeah, gosh. I loved all of that individuality of the 80s, the late 70s and the 80s. People really went for it because people couldn't afford clothes. We could not afford to buy clothes in the sort of early to mid 80s. I was too young, I didn't have any money, but there was a real demand to look as trendy as you could. So you kind of had to make do with stuff. I remember getting my mum to take my school trousers in down the side seam. So they'd be drain pipes. And I had these winkle picker shoes. And I thought I was the bee's knees. I really did. And, I used to knit my dad's jackets and things like that. And, oh, yeah, great times. Great times. Well, I was born at that time. I was born during the hippie movement, so I don't remember it, you know. Um, but I think I remember the feeling around it. Although the 70s, to be honest, the early 70s, to be in Britain at that time was pretty crap, I have to say. It really was. I mean, by 1974, this country was on its knees. It really was. I do remember the strikes. I remember the 3-day week. Um, the strikes, the electricity went off and the gas went off at a certain time, and we had to have candles. Um, it was very exciting for us, but for our parents, it was not very nice. Rubbish wasn't getting collected. It was an awful time, terrible. It really was awful. Yeah, and I remember my mum used to have the night lights. They're called tea lights, but we used to call them night lights. And she used to put them around the house in little saucers of water, so they'd be safe. Um, yeah, I remember going out in the street in the evening to look how dark it was because there was nothing, no lights anywhere, no street lights, nothing. Um, yeah, it was a pretty bad time for
We didn't
people.
have that.
Paul, you didn't have that because you
In
got your
Guernsey.
energy from France.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guernsey didn't have that, but we did. Yeah, it was really crap, really, really crap. So there you go. Yeah, there you go, Bill. Bringing back those memories. We're going down a little nostalgia trip. I hope I haven't missed saying hello to anybody. Well, John, I know. Tell me about it. And of course, in 1975 was the referendum to join the EU. And of course, at that point, people went, well, yeah, because, what's the alternative? You know,
Was it 95?
75,
75?
something like 75, wasn't
73,
it?
wasn't
73? No, can't have been. Was it? Or was it? I don't know. Don't know my dates. Apologize. But it was around that time. Yeah. Country was at its knees. Yeah. There you go.
it? You're right. 75.
Yeah, 75. I thought I was right. I do know my political history. Thank you very much, Paul. I did do sociology. So there you go.
How can it be in 75 joined in 73?
I don't know. What are you talking about? EEC or the EU?
I don't
Well,
know.
it's not the EU, was it? It was. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, it was around that time, wasn't it? There you go. 1973. Thank you, Kenneth. Okay, so there we are. Common market. Thank you. So we're 44 minutes into the chat, and I need a drink. That's water from the vase. Thank you, Kenneth. I knew there was a referendum, the ECC or EEC or whatever it was. Thank you, Kenneth. I was right, Paul.
Well, I didn't know. I wasn't part of it.
No, Paul wasn't part of it. They lived in some little island, you see, called Guernsey, mm, where all the people are about this high. Mm. It was a weird time, the 70s, because as children, actually, being a child in the 70s, um, even if you were quite, poor, I mean, I'm not from a wealthy background at all. I'm from a working class family. We didn't have a lot of money at all, although my parents were fortunate enough to buy a house. Um, being a child in the 70s was a golden age. It really was, because we still played outside all day. We got dirty. We threw ourselves in ponds and climbed trees. Never broke a bone though. Um, we had real freedom. We played games. We had board games, but we played games in the street games, So it was a great time. I used to go on bike rides for miles, miles and miles. My mum used to give me some sandwiches to take with me and say, get back before it was dark. We were given 2 pence to phone home using a phone box if we got into trouble,
With a circular dial.
yeah. And the phones in those days, of course, had a rotary dial. A lot of people don't know how to use those phones. I've seen the videos. Yeah, it was difficult for adults, the bill payers, but for the kids, it was fun. I mean, if I think back, where we lived was a fairly new estate that was still being built when we moved in. And we used to play on the building site when the builders had gone, because in those days there was no hoarding with signs saying hard hat, no entry. There was none of that. Nothing was shut off. When the builders finished for the day, they just left it. And we used to go and play on half built houses
Oh, yeah,
with no floors,
we used to
you
play
know.
on huge glass houses. We used to run across the top.
Is this your show or mine, Paul? I think you'll find it's my show. If you want to join in, you can come and sit here. So cheeky sometimes. I'm surprised you didn't fall through the glass, Paul.
I was lighter then.
Were you? Yeah, we used to play, get stuck in cement. I remember losing a shoe to a pile of cement. It just got sucked under. So yeah. Oh, Jane, you're back.
Put her food in the oven.
It's in the oven. What's in the oven, Jane? Oh, the food. Thought you were going to tell us something, Jane. Then I was going to say, wow, thanks for sharing. No health and safety at all. Um, and we were fine. I mean, the odd person broke an arm or a collarbone, you know, but we had a great time. Yeah, great time. Oh, wonderful. They even used to leave the diggers, the JCB diggers
Down.
there.
Yeah.
And we used to play in the digger bit. I know, and sit in the cabin. Amazing. Lovely. People could smoke on hospital wards, absolutely.
Nurses.
Yeah, I know. Well, look, when I first started working in the 80s, there were no computers in the offices. You didn't have a computer, everything was manual. There were no mobile phones, and you could smoke at your desk.
But people knew you,
What
didn't
do you
you?
mean?
When you were playing as kids, people knew who you
Well, I've moved on now.
were.
I've moved on to a different thing. Um, yeah, well, I think really my generation was probably one of the last ones to experience that, you know? Um, yeah, smoking on buses. You could smoke on the tube until the fire. Huh? You could smoke on the stations, not on the trains, but on the
Yeah.
stations until the King's Cross fire happened, you know? Um, yeah, I know, amazing.
We
Does
all the
anybody remember
materials.
the drinks bar in the front? Well, my granny and granddad had a bar and it was shaped like the front of a ship. And you sort of pulled it out and all the drinks would be behind. I know, crazy. Well, of course, I'm with the no smoking stop. I'm an ex-smoker, as you all know. Um, and I smoked anywhere and everywhere. But yeah, absolutely, it's totally right that we don't have smoking um, in public places. And I mean, I didn't really smoke in the house towards the end of my stint of smoking. I smoked outside, so I can't stand that overwhelming smell of smoke and hanging in the air, which we grew up with. It's a wonder I'm still alive. It really is. Um, well, we used to jump in the back of vans, in the back of transit vans, that friends had. You just sit on the floor and go somewhere. You didn't worry about seat belts, things like that. I remember, I'll tell you a little story when inertia reel seat belts first came in, because they weren't always like the ones we have now that you can pull. They were sort of fixed and you had to adjust them. I remember inertia reel seat belts coming in and my granddad taking me out in his van to show me how they worked. So we drove along the road and he slammed the brakes on and I flew forwards and of course the seatbelt caught me. Yeah. Lived dangerously in those days, didn't we? Lovely. Yeah, Oh, I know. I know, Christine. Nicotine stained houses, awful. Awful. My house has never been that bad ever. No. I've never been a chain smoker. No. Well, we didn't have to have seatbelts on. The law came in. When did the law come in? Was it the late 70s?
No
I can't quite remember when the law came in, but people just didn't wear a seatbelt. In fact, I know a few people now who still don't. They just wrap it round their shoulder because they can't be bothered to put it on. Really? Really? Crazy. Okay, who am I saying goodbye to? I'm saying goodbye to Sharon.
Simon.
Simon. Oh, I'm saying goodbye to Simon. Bye, Simon. Thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah, everyone getting into one car, two cars.
Oh, yeah, people used to pile in. I remember my dad had, in fact, I think it was my granddad's car, and my dad bought it from him, a Ford Zephyr, which had a bench seat at the front. So three people could sit in the front. Oh, I love that car. It was huge, huge.
We had a Renault. Friend had a Renault.
Yeah, Marie, I know. It's both of my parents smoked. Well, it killed my mother. So she died at 52 from lung cancer. So, it was a long time ago now. It was a long time ago. Yeah, I know people were addicted. I mean, I just wish we'd have had these because even though these aren't great, they are so much better than smoking. I'm so glad that I'm not smoking. Because if I didn't have this, I probably may still be smoking, you know? Good morning from Australia. The kookaburras woke you up. Oh, how lovely, Karen. That's nice. What time is it? Yeah, it's awful lung cancer, isn't it? Gets people young. Yeah, my mom was 52. I'm almost the same age as my mom was when she died. I think it's a combination of things as well. I think if you've had a lot of stress in your life, you've maybe not eaten very well, you know, it can grab hold of you and kill you. 4:55 in the morning. Wow. And we're saying goodbye to Anna. Thank you, Anna. Thanks for joining us. So you're an early riser, Karen. How lovely. We're early risers as well. We like the early morning. 47. Oh, goodness me, that's awful. Awful. Sarah, you're very kind. You're very kind. I am 51. Yeah, born in 67. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We are, what time are we now? We are nearly 7 o'clock in the evening. Wow. Hi, Nick. Welcome. Pacific Northwest Gardener, welcome. You're going to get snow today. Lucky you. I wish we were. We've had such a pathetic amount of snow. It's been really poor show this year, although there still is time. We can have snow anytime up until June. Believe me. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You know, those jobs that people used to do, breathing in all sorts of rubbish, you know. I mean, health and safety can go a bit too far, but I'm sure glad that we've got it because it does protect people as well. It really does, you know. Okay, Ali, take care. You're just saying hello to each other. You've got loads of snow, Mandy. Yeah, I'll have some of it. Send it down here. Thank you. We never really get it that badly. I mean, I've talked about this before. You know, it's me because I'm from the northwest, from a place called Macclesfield in Cheshire, right by the edge of the Peak District. We always had a good amount of snow, virtually every year. It would be very unusual not to get snow. Um, and sometimes it was quite deep, and sometimes it would last for a good few weeks. And we'd be off school and we'd be playing out all day, getting completely soaked through to the skin, and we would love it. Love, love, love. Um, the beauty of it. I mean, the beauty for me of a snowy day and a frosty day, a very heavy frost, when the light starts to catch the snow or the frost and it starts to sparkle, I just love that. And to me, when I was a child, it just transformed everything into a winter wonderland, you know, and it just made it feel so magical. And it was that time as a child when you kind of really thought to yourself, magic is real, you know. And as an adult, it's that transformation, isn't it? Total transformation overnight or during the day. Um, Waking up to a winter wonderland that's just so magical and different to what you're used to. And I always say, you know, it's the only time that London actually looks clean is when it snows and when it's covered in white. Um, I think that transformation, that's what it is. It's the transformation. It's a magical thing. And, you know, when you're old and jaded like I am, a magical transformation is kind of uplifting, I think. Some people hate it. I know this, you know. I don't. Love it. Love, love, love. So, Benny, it's stopping you from doing what you want to do. Yeah. Hi, Debbie. Oh, so you wasted all that time to go to a chip shop and it wasn't that good. Oh, shame. Well, we're lucky here. We've got a really good chippy just around the corner. But the only thing that annoys me is that down south, they don't do gravy. See, up north, you have chips and gravy. I love chips and gravy. Love, love, love. But down south, they don't have that. No. Okay, just catching up. Hi, Terry. Oh, curry sauce as well. Yeah, chips and curry sauce. Lovely. Oh, lovely. Chips and curry sauce and a battered sausage. Yeah. Not that I'd have a battered sausage these days because I'm vegetarian, but I used to enjoy a battered sausage on the way home from pub. Yeah, that's it.
They don't do curry sauce.
Curry sauce down here,
They
don't they? You sure? Oh.
Because Claire wanted some one day and she had cheese. She asked for cheese as well.
Chips and cheese is another thing. That's not a regular thing down here.
They
Chips
grated
and
some for her,
cheese.
didn't
No, they put a cheese slice on it
Oh,
for
that's
her.
right, yeah.
Yes. Chips and cheese.
Chips, chocolate,
Well,
and ice cream.
I think they stopped wrapping them in newspaper because there was a time when the ink was toxic, I think, wasn't there?
No, it was because
Wasn't
they
there?
were getting second-hand newspaper. That's why it stopped.
Oh, well, same thing.
People's fingers.
People's fingers on newspaper, second-hand newspaper. That's why. You think there's a chippy in Camberwell that does gravy? Well, I'm not going all the way to Camberwell, Sarah, for chips and gravy, love. Um,
Is that the pie shop? There's a pie shop.
I'm just having a little look. Probably. Um, possibly Marie. I don't know. There was something about it not being very healthy for some reason. I remember that. There was something about the ink at one point, and there was something about cross contamination. There was something else. It is good for cleaning your windows, especially with vinegar, Jane. Absolutely. Chips, cheese, and gravy is called poutine in Montreal. Okay. Yeah, you see, chips and gravy is just such a delight. It really is because the chips go soggy and they soak. It's making my mouth water, and they soak the gravy up, and oh, it's just divine, divine. People, you're making me hungry now,
You've eaten.
and we've eaten already. But there are some of those little flapjacks that we could eat.
What flapjack?
Those little
Oh,
flapjacks.
no.
I've been eating them.
Have you?
Yeah. Well, you weren't saving them for somebody, were you, Paul?
Take them to the community
No,
garden
you're not.
tomorrow.
There's only two left.
You're joking. You've eaten that whole tub.
Paul, it was half eaten.
Oh,
Honestly. There we are. You made fruit flapjacks. Lovely. I do love salt and vinegar, but I can't have vinegar. I'm afraid doesn't work for me. Deep fried batter pizza. Oh my God. Anything deep fried, unless it's chips, just can't do it. In fact, we don't have chips that are fried. We have oven chips that we make ourselves with hardly any oil. That's true, Jane. That's very true. Chip butties. Oh, lovely.
with
It's
white
got to
bread.
have white bread and it's got to have butter. But again, when do we have chip butties?
We don't.
We don't. Never.
Fish finger sandwich occasionally.
Fish finger sandwich, maybe. Yeah, we don't tend to fry and we don't tend to get takeaways that often. It's probably once a year. Once a year we go to the chippy. Literally, we're that healthy, you see. There we go. Chip pan. Oh my God, who uses a chip pan? Who uses a chip pan? Confess to me now. We've never, ever, ever used a chip pan. Ever. I just, no, no. Too scared for a start and too unhealthy. That's true, Jane, yes. No, you don't. Anna Williams. You use a chip pan? Girlfriend. Honestly. But you don't have chips that often, though, do you? Not fried chips. Oh dear. Patricia, be careful now. Don't get me wrong, people. I love those foods. I absolutely love them. But I'm afraid it really wouldn't suit Paul or I to eat those things on a regular basis because, frankly, we put too much weight on. We just put too much weight on. And, we don't want to clog our arteries either. Yeah, Kenneth, that's it. Deep fat fryer. Some people in Britain do have deep fat fryers. Some people just have literally a pan filled with um, oil or lard, sometimes a mixture of the two. And basically, they heat it up to a high temperature, put a basket in, and drop the potatoes in. Yeah, very dangerous, extremely dangerous. Chip pan fires have been responsible for lots of house fires over the years. They used to have to tell us, educate us through public information films, what to do if the chip pan catches fire. Can you all remember what to do if your chip pan catches fire, people? Can you remember? Tell me, answers on a postcard. Oh, Anna, no, 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 no. Oh, love. Oh, no. No, no. I'm so, so, so sorry. That's horrendous. That's awful. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm going to carry on. You know exactly what I'm thinking. And if I was there, I would give you a hug. I'm so sorry. Well, what they used to say, Sarah, is yes, you're right, you don't throw water on, but what they would recommend is that you dampen a tea towel and you throw it over it. Yeah. Or you have a fire blanket in the kitchen. Yeah. Which again is used to smother it. So there you go. That's it. Exactly, Christine. Exactly. Well, Sue, what I will tell you, having studied nutrition, we need fat in our diet. We do need fat in our diet because otherwise we don't absorb certain nutrients like fat soluble vitamins. Um, but the problem is that fat can be stored in the body, excess fat can be stored in the body without you knowing it. Some people can appear slim, but they're organs can be completely covered in fatty deposits. So, it's a real balance with fats, isn't it? You know, but yeah, but Sue, have you had everything checked? Have you had your whole body checked? Because if you eat a lot of fat, it can cover your organs and eventually prevent them from working properly. So, it's a balance. I don't want to eat animal fats. The only one I eat is butter, and I do eat some cheese. But I don't really want to eat lard or dripping or anything like that. I just don't want to eat it because I'm vegetarian generally. Do you know what I mean? So it's you've got to get a balance with the fats. Okay, so we're at an hour now, people, 1 hour 10. I'm going to start winding it up because otherwise I'm going to start losing my voice. Yeah, we eat butter, but I don't eat lard and I don't eat dripping or anything like that. And we don't eat meat, you know. We do eat cheese, but we're trying to cut down. But you see, cheese, people make a big thing about cheese. In actual fact, having a little bit of cheese every day is really good for you because you do need that calcium, you know. Okay, so we're winding up now, people. Good morning to Oregon. Welcome. Thanks, Eileen. Balance is key, absolutely. A good balance of nutrients. That's what you have to think of. The nutrients. So let's quickly go through the nutrients: protein, fat, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, fiber. That's it, isn't it? I covered them all. We've got to get a good balance of all of those, haven't we? Shaz. Okay. Right, I'm saying goodbye now. Veggies are not good. Sorry, Sue, I'm not following you, dear. I've been a vegetarian for how long have you been vegetarian, Paul?
10 years.
For 10 years. No real health issues whatsoever. So, have to disagree with you. I love vegetables. So we're big vegetable eaters, vegetables and fruits, and we're very healthy. So there you go. So we're going now. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Anna, take care. You know where we are. Well, clearly it doesn't suit everybody, Sue. That's the thing. That's why if you change anything about your diet, you should always talk to your physician about it, your GP, and have the regular, the tests done to make sure that you are going to be fine. So there you go. That's the advice I would give to you. So we're going now. You're very welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been lovely to see you all. I'm saying goodbye. Thanks to everybody, and we'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves now. Thank you. Thank you very much. No problem. Take care. Bye for now. Bye, Anna.